Welcome back to this week's FinX with Built by Trading. These are the top 7 names that were popular over Financial X. Number 1 comes in at Oracle. Trump's Q1 2026 ethics filing showed that his team bought multi-millions of dollars worth of Oracle, as well as NVIDIA and Microsoft and Meta, et cetera, et cetera. And then also just AI continues to be adapted into basically across multiple businesses. So it has tailwinds behind it. ASTS Bluebird 9 arrived. So you can see at the chart, we'll go over it shortly. A gap down on Friday. However, it looks pretty viable. This is funny. SPCE. It's kind of a retail frenzy thing. We'll go over the chart again shortly, but I think it's getting confused with SPCX, as in SpaceX, that's coming out in June. But there's also some forethought to it that people are buying it purposefully for a mistake, a fat finger kind of trade, like an oopsie type of trade. I put in the wrong ticker, but I found that kind of funny. Now raised 2026 AI guidance to $1.5 billion, which is up 50%. PLTR, Trump and defensive narrative. They had a $300 million USDA deal. I'm pretty sure that was in earlier May. Hood, that was selected as a primary brokerage for Trump accounts, and that started on May 28th. So you'll see in the charts, the past 2 days, Hood has absolutely ripped, which this is now a place that we should be in after it clears some levels. And then SoFi, I didn't really see any news, but it's kind of just has like a fintech momentum type thing going on. It was a hot name in the past, and it might be coming back. I don't know. I'm not a super fan of the chart, but either way, those are the top 7 names. Let's dive into the charts themselves. Alrighty, we are looking at Oracle here. As you can see, Oracle, it's 35% off of all-time highs. If you like lines, I can make them for you. Here's a downtrend line. Obviously, it broke that downtrend line, stage 4. Then it goes to stage 1. And now it looks like, over the past few weeks, I've been tracking Oracle. I've been commenting on it. So if you guys paid attention to what I say, you'd be prepared for this type of stuff. I missed it. Number 1, why? Consolidation here. It was nice that it got above the 50 EMA, but it got rejected at the 200. Came back for the nice retest of this consolidation area, came back above and broke the 200, which is beautiful. So a higher high was made and a higher low was made, and now another higher high was made, and it held the 200 EMA. So I was waiting for this look for it to for sure become in play, and guess what? Now it is for sure in play. The only thing that we have to be mindful of is this level of potential resistance of 225 area. Especially with it moving, we got some nice volume coming in. So over the past, let's just say 2 days, it has moved 17% from high to low about. So that's a pretty big move, right? So depending on how far something moves into resistance, it's not super tight. It's kind of extended into potential resistance. The odds of it breaking and holding are a little bit lower. Can it run? Can it stop run it? Sure it can. Can it gap up here? Sure it can. But it can also just sell off down here. So I'm looking for a pullback. What I would like personally for this week, I would look into anywhere within this 3-day pivot realm here of 219.55 to 207.10. I think that area might be viable. I would love more of a time correction and let this kind of chop sideways and fill out a little bit to allow something like this, to allow the 8 EMA, the white line on the chart, to catch up and potentially provide some sort of support there. All right, and then this hits and then continues on higher and breaks that 225 level. So I'm looking for something like that this week, maybe a little pullback in the beginning of the week, and then push higher. Palantir has been a sleeper, been a lagger. This has been doing nothing, right? However, the darling of the space may now come into play. However, it is still within range. It's nice that it's above the 50. It's nice that it's above the 200, but guess what? It got above that over here as well and failed. I think until it breaks this range, breaks and then holds it, so this 150, 160 area, till it holds that, I wouldn't get too excited. Now, this is short-term, moderate-term trading. If you're long-term trading, this is a different story. I think this was probably a pretty good area to accumulate a potential position in. Either way, Palantir is a place to pay attention to going forward here, but I do think this is an area of potential supply, especially again, looking how much it's moved in the past 2 days, about 19% in 2 days. Man, like the odds, it can, yes, break, it can gap up here, yes, but it can also, get some stop runs in here and then fail to move higher and then come back within the range. So look for a higher low set within probably 142 area and then a breakout. So something where, maybe pops up here, sets a higher low versus right here, and then we go higher. I'm looking for something like that. ASTS actually looks pretty solid. I think this might be actionable early next week. Now, why do I say that? Let's look at Lunar real quick. If we look at Lunar, what happened here? This was down like, let me hang on. Within, I think it was right here. This is what I'm looking for. 26% in 30 minutes, right? What did it do the next 2 days? It bought it up, right? So the space theme in general is very hot right now. So I think ASTS has a good chance of doing the same thing, especially with the setup. Super extended, right? It broke this prior area of resistance. Now it's coming back to see if that prior resistance can become support. So this pivot, let's see if it could flip. Then also we have a pivot on gap right here, 104.91 to 103 flat from the 22nd of May. Huge, beautiful bottoming tail here, right? I think this low on Friday is pretty decent to risk against. So with anything, I'm going to set an alert actually. Anything within this range of the day, I'm just going to put it at 50%, see if it gets there. I think it might be pretty decent to risk against. Or if it dips below Friday's low into this 104.91 to 103 range, if it can't break 103, I think that might be pretty decent to risk against as well, especially because it's a break and retest of this level, and then we can hit, pun intended, to all-time highs. It just printed all-time highs last week, so and space theme is up. SPCE, you want to talk about a short? I for sure would not be buying this thing. This is a fat thumb trade. If you're already trying to do it, I mean, you may have another chance because SPCX, SpaceX, is not out technically yet. But I don't trade stuff like this. I think this is, I don't know, gambling in my opinion. I don't know how you can manage your risk on this instead of just buy and pray, and that's not risk management. And so this has moved huge. This has moved huge, 170% in 5 days. I'm not touching it. I'll watch for fun and then maybe wait for a short setup when SPX actually, I don't know, maybe it's got to be stable. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of IPOs personally. Now, ServiceNow. Again, I've been commenting on this for the past few weeks, watching this consolidation here, watching it reject at the 50, watching it get above the 50, watching it put in this kind of consolidation area, watching it break this high, watching it set a higher low, and now watching it make a higher high. The risk reward here at a declining, starting to flatten 200 EMA at 132, let's just call it flat, another $8. I don't know if the risk reward is there, especially right now where it has moved again from low to high here, 25% in 3 trading days. Yeah, it's too extended for me, but this is a name to be. This is a name to pay attention to now. It has a gap, 116.29 to 110.16. See if it can fill it. See if it flags or bases or something around here. You can use that area to risk against. It has this area, 127, as potential support. It's got a few pivot on gaps above. It's got 200 above. I don't think the risk reward is there just yet. I think it needs to base a little bit, gather up a little bit of energy to break that 200, and then it can turn around. And who knows? Maybe it'll go to all-time highs within 5 days, like everything else. Sarcasm if you can't pick that up, but who knows? Who knows in this market? Hood, place to be. Place to be. It's got some tailwinds with the Trump accounts, especially it being the choice of. If you want to zoom out real quick, here's that base. It broke, ripped, came back to it, it held. Consolidated. I'd say this is a stage 1. Down trend line. It's coming close to it. If you care about trend lines, I don't make decisions off of them. I use it for technical analysis because I know everybody else does. And so it's kind of like the feeding the machine itself kind of thing. Either way, it's in a consolidation range. Broke out, right? We have to see if it holds. We have to see if it holds. Ideally, I would like a little pullback, and this 82.97 to 79.23 hold. then I think this would be a beautiful area to risk against for to actually start a stage 2 uptrend and roll on to all-time highs and probably higher, because I do think this is a name that has good potential to continue to grow, and to be strong in just overall finances and trading and markets in the future, various markets, that is. SoFi, I can't speak intelligently on this one. I can speak like technical analysis wise. Base, breakout, came back into the base like breakout area and consolidated, right? It's creating a higher low versus this low over here. It's under the 200 and it's declining. It's starting to kind of flatten, but we have this resistance about 20 bucks here. It's got a nice gap up. I guess we got some volume coming in. I don't know. I don't think this is very special. And I also think there are a lot of different names and better names to be in and pay attention to. Go watch my weekly market review. There are a ton of names to be prepared for. And I think they beat out SoFi. Matter of fact, all of these names beat out SoFi. Hood is better than SoFi. Now is better than SoFi. SPCE, that's questionable. ASTS for sure better than SoFi in my opinion. PLTR better than SoFi. Oracle better than SoFi, right? So I'm not a super fan of this look. This is probably the worst look versus this look. But either way, that's where you need to be this week. That's the energy of FinX from last week really came in. So Oracle, Palantir, ASTS, Hood, ServiceNow, they're all pretty extended from the last 2-3 days. Let them calm down, let them base, let them get a little pullback, let them time correct, let them price correct, something. I'm not chasing up here, but they are places to watch. All right, hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts, what you guys are thinking, where is other places to be at as well. Let's work together later.